Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to explain on how the CT defense on Dust 2 actually works. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also comment down in the comments below on what you want us to do next. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Dust 2 CT site has only 5 spawns. That means that each player will get one of these 5 spawns. The most popular split in Dust 2 is 1 mid, 1 B, and 3 A, so the spawns are as follows. This is the B spawn, this is the mid spawn, this is the short and long spawn. However, you can also go B if your teammate needs support on weaker buy rounds. This is the second long and short spawn, and this is the long spawn. Spawns really matter in CT defense, that's why CT defense on Dust is usually played by spawns. That means whoever gets the B spawn will go B, and whoever gets the long spawn goes long. So let's start from the first long spawn. This is the spawn for the first player who is going towards long. He will always have the first contact as he runs through here, so he doesn't get blinded by enemy T's, and then before exiting out, he needs to quickly turn around and throw the molly. The whole process looks like this. He just runs, then turns around, throws the molly, and goes back. After the molly, he can rather hide behind this wall and prepare for his teammate's flash, or instead he could stay peeked out, holding the position, and if he sees no one, then he throws this smoke by aiming at the bottom of the inner part of the double door. Throw it like so, the smoke lands and smokes off double doors, and then he can rather play close range by staying close to double door, or he can play further away in positions like so, or in this corner, or he can just stay behind here and hold it from long range. The second spawn player has several options he can choose between. He can rather throw this smoke for double door so his teammate doesn't have to in the future. He just needs to stand in this corner and then aim at this gap between the metals and jump throw. This smoke is the same as the smoke the first spawn player throws, however he does save the smoke if his second teammate throws it, so he has one more for the future. If player 2 doesn't throw the smoke, then instead he can rather follow his teammate and prepare for some support, or he can head into short by jumping up these boxes and then pushing towards short. The first spawn player is also not necessary towards A side, however it is also recommended that he goes A instead of B or middle, so when he goes here he can do one or the other. He can rather throw a flash for his long teammate by standing in this corner and aiming at the top of this plus sign and slightly above, or instead he can run towards short by jumping up the boxes and taking the position way faster. If he doesn't support his teammates in A and he wants to go towards B side, then he can rather play double doors, or he can hide in corners and assist his teammate by holding B side. If any of the short or long spawn players play in short, then they can play like so. They can rather peek out middle. Keep in mind that you do need to watch out for lower tunnel, so I suggest mollying it before you peek towards middle. After the flash you can safely peek out, or instead they can play passive by just throwing the smoke off the wall and then playing around it. You can play in this corner and look for some peeks, or you can fall a bit back and play safer. If you have an op, you can also play with the op in this position. It's very effective because after the shot you can instantly drop down, and then if you have to, you can molly it off. However, playing close to the smoke does have a lot of benefits instead of playing further away, the main one being that you can't hear info towards middle, so you can call your teammates if you hear anyone pushing middle or close to double doors. If you hear players coming out of lower tunnel, that usually means that they are pushing towards middle or they're doing some sort of split, so you can definitely call your teammates for some good info. However, later in the round, when you don't have a smoke anymore, I suggest going back a bit, because if you stay close enough, T's might gather up and push you. That's why, in my opinion, it's also good to play in this position even with an M4, or instead you can go back fully towards side. After taking long, one of the short or long players can also go back towards CT if they need to support their teammates towards middle. Later on, if they hear someone in short, they can call and they can rotate themselves. When they rotate, they can position themselves close to these boxes, and if they have to, they can use utility as so. They can also help by smoking off short. And if your teammate throws a good flash, the teammate can jump up and quickly assist him by peeking short. The middle spawn players are usually best with the op because they're gonna be looking at the most long range position in the map. In the start of the round, they're probably gonna check suicide and then they're gonna watch middle. Playing with the op is always the best when you're a mid player because you have a huge advantage when it comes to holding a long range position. And with the sniper you can also really assist your teammate if he needs it towards B side. Another benefit is if Ts don't smoke the cross from CT towards long, then you can also check long if they push towards A side. However, if you play with a rifle or any other weapon, then you can play a bit more close range. You can play behind these double doors or in the corner of this brick wall. If you want to smoke suicide, you can stand in this corner and then aim at the top of this corner of the brick and then jump from. You can also assist your teammates if they're pushing short or even middle. You can throw this flash by aiming at this wood's top right corner. A middle player can also play a bit aggressive if he wants. He can go towards middle if he throws a molly towards top mid and then he needs to check suicide. He can just go and quickly smoke it as so and then focus on top middle. Or if he spots no one in suicide, then he can quickly throw the nade and go towards lower tunnel. You can also play in the right corner of double door. However, keep in mind that your gun might be sticking out, so move it more to the right so it matches up with the wall. Unless you're being pushed, you should never smoke off double doors because then you lose the info of middle. If you have a hint that is gonna be a mid to B split, then I suggest going more towards B side because then you don't leave your teammate alone. If you also know that it's gonna be a middle push, you can also use a lot of utility. If you play from here, you can also use a nade. And you can also play it off from CT as well. If CT gets smoked, you can save your nade for that situation and blow it up. If CT gets smoked, you can get boosted up from your teammates on top of this box and hold this position. As a B player, you usually just go towards B, you don't do anything else, you just go towards it. At the start of the round, you should ideally molly it, and after that, you should wait out for the molly to light out and then smoke it. Then you can position yourself in any of these positions. You can play here, behind this box. You can play a bit back behind these barrels. You can also play in backside from here. Or sometimes you can even play in car if you want to switch things up. For the entire round, you pretty much have to stay in the side so you can take several positions that you're comfortable with. For example, if you expect people lurking, you can stand in this corner. You can also play in this corner, however keep in mind that this corner is very risky because after 1 or 2 kills it will be very difficult for you to escape. If you're playing with an SMG, I suggest playing a bit closer to tunnel, for example on top of this box. You can even also play close to tunnel just standing here. When the smoke starts to fade, then you should pull back towards side more, that way you're playing way safer and don't get attacked from close range. Since, as I mentioned, middle players don't really need their smokes most of the time, they can assist their B players by smoking tunnel. If the mid player needs assistance towards middle, then the B player can help him out by standing in window and checking the positions by micromanaging. You can also play in double door, however keep in mind that you will be seeing less of middle than in window, and you will be seeing less of B side. Thank you everyone for watching the video. This was how the CT defense on Dust 2 works. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.